Hey guys, welcome to Here Are Two Cents, and we're back with another interview. I have a special guest,
Hi guys, it's me Dal.
and we are here live from another cafe. Now, I learned my lesson and I got two mics this time. We're gonna try these out, so I hope the sound quality is better. So,
Hello.
hi. So, tell us a rundown.
Hi.
When did you get to Korea, and why Korea?
I get Korea for the first time in 2013.
Oh,
Long time ago. Many years ago. I came as a special program, like a 3 months program,
mm,
like kind of summer program,
mm.
intense. So that was the first time I came to Korea.
Where are you from?
I'm from Mexico.
Oh. So now that you arrived in Korea, how many years have you been since?
So far, been 10 years
10
almost.
years.
Yes, many years.
Wow, yeah,
Yeah.
it's 10.
Yeah, big number, two
Um,
digit.
where did you move to? Or like when
I
you first came, where were you? And
Yeah, I've been living in Daegu here in the south where I live, and I also lived in Seoul
okay,
for 4 years there.
so tell us, what do you like about being in Seoul, and what do you like being here in Daegu?
I think they're different. Like you can feel the vibes right away. But the issue is like when I live in Seoul, I was studying,
Yeah.
so it was fun. It was clubbing. It was hanging out. It was meeting people. You
Hmm.
can meet people like almost every day, and
Yeah.
then of course if you're ever going out like this, like you can meet people like every day,
Yeah.
and it was more active. You can feel it like a rush.
Yeah.
And Daegu's home, but Daegu's charming. I think Daegu's charming.
It's laid back. Very
Yes,
laid back.
but I think that's different. Like in Daegu, I work, so it's different. Like the vibe is different. Like it's different situation. But I think Seoul is like really fun. Like for hanging out for students, I think Seoul is like really
It's a
nice.
good spot to go
Yeah.
to. Okay. What is something you would give someone as advice if they're trying to come to Korea or wanting to move to Korea or even travel?
Yeah, I think when people come to Korea for the first time,
Hmm.
they always think like in the K dramas and like all that universe, cute Korean cute guys, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
But it is Korea is really nice. Don't misunderstanding. Like don't think about it. Like but I think when you come to Korea, you have to be open mind to whatever it happens. Like don't expect the
Yeah.
dream, like the fantasy, the
Hmm.
drama life. Like it's like when you go other country,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
be open mind to like whatever gonna happen.
And be able
Uh,
to roll with the punches.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Because things
also,
happen.
yeah. Like, everywhere. Like if you move to Europe, like if you're from
Hmm.
US, like or Mexico, like America, like if you go to Europe, you're gonna have like shocks or
Hmm.
like good things and bad things. I think Koreans have the same thing, but
Hmm.
people now when come to Korea, they're like, oh my god, I'm gonna find my oppa and I'm gonna find my perfect boyfriend and everybody's gonna be nice, blah blah. And it's not true, of course. Like so, I think just if you come open mind,
You'll be better
I think
prepared.
it will be very prepared. I
Okay.
think that.
Do
So
you, do you speak Korean? Or do you know Korean?
I'm basic. No, I study and I was like medium, but then now I feel like I'm kind of basic, but I can understand. I can survive. I can surf. I can speak. I don't feel like loose there, so I
Yeah.
think that's is really good.
When did you start studying Korean?
I came 2 times for summer to study like summer program, like 3 months summer program twice. So I
Okay.
study level one and then level 1B. So for like 6 month total, and then I moved back to Korea and I study one full year like
Oh, okay.
Korean intense Korean course. But I
Oh,
was
so you
not a good
took,
student, but I think like you survive with that. Like
yeah.
yeah, it's enough to survive.
You can order food. You can say, I need
Yeah,
this. You can,
anything. Yeah. I can go
yeah. If
hospital
someone
say
gives
like
you,
MM6 stuff
yeah.
like that. Yes, but for example, like technical conversation, like really specific enough topic, then I don't think I can handle it. But enough to survive.
Enough to survive.
Yes,
I'm a survivor.
a survivor. It's
All right.
like my English. Like I have basic English.
Yeah, but you actually said you learned English
Watching
here,
dramas.
like watching dramas and
No,
being here, like
no,
talking with other foreigners. You were like,
no,
yeah,
no. And I think like when you live here, if you try to immerse in the culture, you can learn Korean faster. But some people just only hang out with foreigners, and
yeah.
they don't try to get in the culture. Then it's harder to like learn Korean.
That's definitely something you need to do is try to
Yes.
learn Korean
Yeah.
to just get immersed and get more Korean friends because it's kind of hard to bridge that gap of cultural differences if you're not willing to take the extra step to
Yeah.
respect and do something even small. Like when you say hi, how are you in Korean, even when
Yeah.
I'm talking to my kids in little Korean, they might giggle because my pronunciation is not the best.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Oh, teacher, no, it's this,"
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be like, "Okay," and then I'll copy and I'll say, "Please teach me," and then they'll
Yeah.
repeat it, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Okay, thank you so
But you're
much."
trying.
And I'm trying.
Yeah.
And sometimes they just tell me to say it in English. They're like,
Yeah.
"Teacher, we're done. Just what's the
Yeah.
English?" I'm like,
Mm.
"This." Oh, okay, we got you, teacher.
Yeah.
Like,
But people leave
yeah.
Korea after like 1 or 2, 3 years, only knowing 3 words like thank you, bye bye,
감사합니다.
and like something else.
안녕하세요.
Yes, and it's like
Yeah.
I'm sure you can catch more. I catch more phrases of Korean being outside Korea
Then when you're watching TV.
than we are watching TV. But I was like, how people living here for a year or 2 years don't catch more phrases? So it's impossible, you know.
Mhm.
So I think if you try, if you put yourself there, you can
Yeah.
learn it. Yeah.
So what do you do now in Korea? You don't have to say specifics of where you
Yeah,
work,
yeah,
not
yeah.
that. But like, what do you do?
I have a sugar daddy. Just joking.
What's his number? We
what's
need
his
this
number?
information.
Yes. I work in an office. I'm an office worker.
So office worker.
Yes, I'm an office worker.
She has that exclusive life. Okay, tell us about it.
Yeah, I think it's really weird. You meet all the older foreigners who have like a regular job, and I'm not quoting. Like all my friends, usually they say like that. Like you have a real job
Yeah.
because I have like 9 to 5 job, like
Yeah.
regular job, and I'm not military people or I'm not like teacher
Mhm.
or like student. I'm
Yeah,
outside that
those
three
are literally
categories.
the three.
Yeah, they're like the 3 categories, right?
Yeah.
It's like we're
Military?
like
No.
military, no,
Teacher? No.
No.
Student?
no.
Oh.
I'm an office worker,
Oh.
so I work in a logistic area in a company, in a Korean company. I work in a Korean company.
So in your job, do you speak Korean and Spanish and English, or mostly Korean, or
I can say in my job it's like
a combination?
40% English,
Mhm.
30% Spanish, and probably 20 to 15% Korean.
Okay.
So it's like
So it's a little
mix.
bit of mix there.
Yes, a mix. Yes.
Okay.
The majority is English,
Majority is English.
and then Spanish, and then Korean.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else can we talk about? Because this is on the spot, guys. We just came to a cafe and we are like, hey, let's talk and let's record it.
We're having girls.
We're having a girls' day. What did we do today?
We went to Noordebang, like to
We
sing.
did. I'm glad that our voices kind of came back because after Kelly Clarkson, since you've been gone, we
It was on Beyonce
voice-
night. We were like
to
getting
the
there.
left, to the left. Yep.
There was the left.
Yeah, and then you said the left was this way.
Yeah, but it's that way.
And then we also did.
Or we went to coffee shop.
We don't.
And this is the second coffee shop of the day.
This is the second
If
one.
you come to Korea, you're going to many coffee shops. Okay,
Yeah.
don't think about it.
There's a way to this. There's a way
Yes.
of life. Okay.
Yes, and then where we did? Oh, we eat pizza.
We ate pizza,
Yeah, we ate pizza,
and then now we're here.
and we walking around.
We've been walking around. We've been earning
Yeah.
our calories
Yes.
today.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think right now I want to clarify for all the people who think like Korea is this or Korea is that. If you coming or you're planning to come to
Mhm.
Korea, just recommend that like be open and don't think like if somebody said, "Oh, Koreans are like this." Not all Koreans are the same. Every Korean is different.
Every situation is different.
Everything-
Every city.
Every city is different. Every person is different.
Mhm.
If you come as student, I'm sure you're gonna have a different experience. Like Ali have like a teacher, what I have as a worker,
Yeah.
and probably your experience will be different because I studied here like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be different from my experience. So just come open mind, like give a chance. I always tell people give a chance to Korea. Like if you're coming like, oh, I have to go to Korea, so I don't have any other option, or like let's see. I think since that point you already ruined your experience in Korea.
Mm.
So
What's one of your favorite Korean foods?
oh my favorite Korean food? Oh my god, I love Korean food. I really love Korean food.
Give us some examples. If you can describe it,
Oh
try to describe it. But if you can't, but
yeah,
it'd be interesting to see because mine's really basic.
what, like bibimbap,
No,
No.
not even bibimbap.
bulgogi.
I love bulgogi, but
I hate bulgogi.
how do you hate bulgogi?
Foreigners love bulgogi.
I love bulgogi.
Yeah.
But I also love jimdak,
Oh, jimda is real good.
especially rose jimdak. Oh, rose
Jimdak is
jimdak,
real.
good.
Jimda is real good.
Mhm.
I think my Korean favorite food that I can eat all the time,
Yeah.
like all the time, it should be budae-jjigae, the military soup.
Oh, okay.
I love it. It's like a soup. And I told Ali the history is like because it was like the Korean traditional soup they have a long time ago
Yeah.
for the North Korean war. And then when American soldiers came, they bring spam and sausage and all of that
Uh-huh.
Koreans didn't have. So they mix. So the soup came from that, like from the North Korea war. So it's really good because they have like sausage and
I
spam and
think
noodles and ramen
yeah.
and like kimchi and cheese and everything. And you can put everything on it. So that's like the
Is it
most
like
delicious.
already made and then you add those items in as you go, or is it like
No, usually it's the soup. They put the water and then they put like beans and like
already in, you
ramen.
put it in step by
Yeah.
step? Okay.
And then they put like gochujang, like the red paste,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
put like many stuff like that. And then sorry, you wait the food boiling and you eat it. And it's delicious. And then when it's in it, you put rice on it.
And you have that rice thing.
Yes.
I've had that rice thing.
It's best thing. So I
But
like
for
that
something
one.
else.
I think I like that one. Like one is my favorite foods. Because you already say chimtak, so like,
I
but
love
like
chimtak.
I think budae will be like the top 2 or 3 of my favorite meals.
Yeah.
Or bibimbap. Bibimbap is good. If
Yeah.
people overrate it, or people say like no good, or people say it's really good, but I like tulsong bibimbap. Tulsong is like a stone plate
Oh,
bibimbap.
okay.
So when you eat it hot,
Yeah.
it get burned in the edges, so you eat like so warm. So I like that one with cheese.
With
Americanized like cheese on it. Yeah, that's my favorite food.
If you guys have any dietary restrictions
Yeah.
and you're coming to Korea, Seoul will be your friend for sure. I think there's a lot
Yeah.
of variety, but if you're a vegetarian, you have to be a little bit creative. And there's some things you can have. Bibimbap is one of them, but it does come with meat
Yeah.
typically.
So you
So
have to tell them to
You
remove
have
it.
to tell them to remove it.
Yeah.
And you have to be so specific. Like if you say meat to a Korean person, sometimes they don't assume that you mean shrimp or you mean like a fish. Sometimes
Yeah.
when my friend would say take the meat
Yeah.
off, they would take
Yeah.
the pork or the beef,
Yeah.
but they were still like, oh yeah, it has
Your
shrimp
crab and
or
like,
crab,
Yeah,
and then she's like, oh wait, I don't want none of that either.
yeah.
So you have to be very specific, but they're willing to like help you and like work with you if it's something that's not already pre-made or something like that. But bibimbap is going to be your friend because it's filling. It's a lot of vegetables. It's
Yeah,
rice.
kimbap and all like
And
that.
kimbap is gonna also be your friend.
Yeah.
So those are some of the items I feel like people who are vegetarian. But I would have to ask my friend who was here.
Yeah,
for a couple
tteokbokki
years.
also. You can eat tteokbokki
Tteokbokki
without
you can eat,
the
but without the fish cake.
fish cheesecake, but you
Yeah.
can eat it. Some of the ramen, actually, ramen have meat, so many people cannot eat ramen because
Yeah.
it comes from like like pork. But some of them now they are vegetarian, like they don't have meat on it in the process, so you can eat
So
that.
you very much have to kind of pay attention and just at least look at the labels of things.
No,
But the food is like for meat lovers, you're gonna love it here.
yeah,
You're gonna love
and
it. Here.
and pork, they love pork here.
I love pork. Whatever you do, guys, here's the one tip I'll give you. Do not come to Korea. If you're from America or Western, do not come and go to Outback. That's the one warning I'll give
No.
you. The prices are way different. Okay. We made the mistake one day, like a group of friends, we were in Pohang, we're like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's go to Outback. Our bill, when it came,
Yeah, yeah, like
it was
30
over
per
a-
person.
It was like 30,
Yeah, 30, 35 per
40
person.
per person. And we
Yeah.
were getting like,
And it's not good
pasta.
quality food.
and like, we didn't even get, no, we got one drink. I got a mojito. And I think the mojito itself was 20.
Yeah,
just,
Probably.
just the mojito. So it was like,
Yeah.
those places are going to be super, super expensive.
And I will recommend you guys like try at least one restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Like many people come and they say, oh, they keep eating McDonald's, they keep eating Subway.
Oh yeah, definitely
that
try
kind- yeah.
Korean
I
restaurants.
think go out and try it. Korea have
Yeah.
amazing fried
Oh,
chicken,
yeah, fried chicken's good.
amazing. Even though KFC have like some Korean like dishes specifically.
Yeah, I would say at least do that. If you're gonna go to like KFC
Yeah,
or something that you have maybe back home, try the things that they don't have back home.
yeah, at least
'Cause
yeah.
At least do that because there's some stuff that that I would go to a restaurant and I'm like, ooh, this was really, really good.
Yeah,
And I was like, we don't have this back home. So okay, that was cool. That was a cool spin on things. But like,
and Korean brands like fast food, like Mom Touch.
yeah,
Like that kind of
yeah,
brand, yeah.
Mom's Touch, or you can do twosome for like cafe, like
Yeah.
with that's
Loteria is the
Loteria.
McDonald's.
Lotteria, yeah.
So I think like if you give it a chance, I think that's good. Like Korea have many things to show you, but just people don't want to put themselves out.
A lot of nature too. I feel like I say I'm a city girl because I'm definitely not country girl,
Yeah.
right? And I think I've done more hiking, not a lot of hiking,
Yeah.
not a lot. Mostly it was like hiking to get to a cable car.
Yeah.
To
Okay.
be honest,
Okay.
that was the kind of
Half of the hiking. Half of the hiking.
half the hiking. Okay,
Yeah.
but like I think I've done a lot more nature and outdoor things while being here, and just like expanding that instead
Yeah.
of just sticking to like oh, I'm only gonna play my sports and I'm only gonna like, go to malls or go out to cafes. I was like, oh, friend, hey Ali, I'm going here. All right, I'll come. Like I think I did like a really big hike in Pohang my first year. My
Oh,
friend though, she
the
said
bad
it was
way.
an easy hike. She lied.
Don't believe in
She
Koreans. What
lied.
they say is a
And
hiki guy.
no, she's not
Easy hike.
Korean. She's
Oh,
from Tennessee. And I was like, okay, it's an easy hike. She's like, yeah, I looked it up online and people are saying it's easy. I'm like, which people, the Korean or the
Mhm.
others? Because look, Koreans are good at hiking. They will
Yeah, they
go
love
and
hiking.
go and go.
Yeah,
And like you'll see people of all ages. So we're
they
three,
enjoy hiking. Like
they
it's like
truly
a
enjoy
yeah.
it. So there's a good hiking community here. So if you're into hiking or outdoor stuff, like this is also a
Yeah.
pretty cool place to be. But we were walking it up, right? And mind you, it's three foreigners and all, the Ajumas and
Yeah.
Ajusis,
Super fast.
super fast, right? And they all would stop and turn around and be like, oh, look,
Foreigners
the
hike.
foreigners, they good.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Oh, we're hiking. Oh, where are you from? And they stop you and talk. And then we just chatted literally with them for a
Yeah.
little bit. And then they would continue on and they would book it. They're like already in the horizon and we're still struggling to get up.
They're coming back and you're still going on the way up. I'm sure. Yeah.
And then we got to this, like, because the whole point of this trip was to see this waterfall. Guys, we're going in winter. I don't know.
frozen one.
It was frozen.
I know.
It was like, and then there was, we're like, wow, this is great. But then we didn't realize there was like a bridge, like up above us. So
Oh,
we're
yeah.
like, oh, we could keep going, and that's like waterfall number 7. Let's go to waterfall number 7. We already made it to
Frozen.
6.
That's
No,
like-
that one
oh.
was actually going,
Oh,
but
okay,
you
okay.
had to be careful, like getting down the rocks.
No.
And then I looked back at this girl. I said, I have to go to the bathroom. I said, never again am I going on an easy hike with you. An easy hike that does not exist.
No.
It does not exist for you.
But I think that's the charm of Korea. Maybe people don't realize the charm of Korea, but
Mhm.
like you can do stuff in Korea that it will be hard to do in other places, I think. You know what I'm saying? Because, for example, I live in a desert in Mexico. I'm from a desert. So if we want to go to the beach, we have to drive 6 hours, for example, to go to the beach.
Oh, really?
Or if we want to be like somewhere with forest
Mhm.
or something like that, we have to drive like 6 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, something like that, right? But in Korea, you can be almost everywhere in a period of maximum 3 hours.
Yeah.
Almost
And the
everywhere.
transportation is so effortless.
And then as a woman, it's like a Mexican woman, and I will say it feels so safe going out.
Mhm.
Like travel by yourself, like alone.
Yeah.
Randomly you can wake up and say, oh, I want to see the ocean today. Then you can just take a bus, go by yourself,
Mhm.
and like in 1 hour you're already there. We are like super close from
Yeah.
the beach, from Busan or Pohang.
Pahang, yeah, Busan, yeah.
And you can walk by yourself. You can do many things. Like you can walk at midnight randomly. Like you can do many things. I think like in other countries we're
Mhm.
not able to do as the freedom like here. I
Yeah.
think so. I think I love that charming of Korea also.
So we know that everywhere you live, it has its ups and its downs.
Yeah.
So for you, what is something that's kind of something that you feel in Korea they should improve upon, or something where you're like, I notice this as someone who's looking from the outside in, of being in this country but not from this country?
Yeah, I think an up and down. I think like an app like I love about Korea. I told you like is like enjoying have like many freedom. I feel safe all the time.
So that's
Like,
the up, the positive parts.
Yeah, I think I feel safe. It's easy going out.
Yeah.
Like it's easy having as soon as you adapt, I think it's really easy. Like living here, like
Yeah.
it's really comfortable. You
Mhm.
feel like in the comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
But I think the down part is, for example, me and like you as like you staying like more than 1 year, for example. I say that like rotation of knowing people.
Yeah. It goes up and down.
Yeah.
Like you get a friend group and you get like that nice support
Yes.
core, and then it's like
And
up and down.
Then leave, they leave,
Mhm.
and I think in a certain point you feel like you're in like how you can say like if you're moving school every year. Like that feeling.
Just in the
Yeah,
clock.
rotation, because
Yeah.
it's like okay, you meet your friend and then you introduce yourself and you talk about like introducing yourself, what you're doing in Korea, blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
Okay, and then you get more
Mhm.
attached, and then you get in deeper, and then they leave, and then you stay,
Yeah.
and then you have to find another friend again, and then like okay, you start again, and then it's really like a conversation. Like
Mhm.
it's like like going on dates. That's
Yeah.
like literally that like
But with
you meet,
friendships.
yeah, like you meet again, you start a conversation,
Mhm.
really like how is it, superficial conversation at the
Yeah.
beginning. You get attached, and then you get a friendship, and then they leave,
Yeah.
and then you're alone again, and then you have to make a friend. Like, and it's not every year, every 6 months, but it's really often.
The cycle of it is kind of hard. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if you are a sensitive person or like you don't like to be alone, I learned how to be alone in Korea,
Yeah.
and it's not bad. As soon as you learn how to live alone, it's not hard.
Yeah.
But I think that rotation from some people who's attached to other people is gonna be really hard.
To get over that for
Yes.
some. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Because sometimes you can you find a really good friend and then they leave, or like you leave, or you move city, or like, so it's really changing.
hmm
So I think that's the part. Like you don't have a like a, how you say, like a support like forever, like not forever, but like permanently, at least for like 2 years or 3 years.
Yeah.
So I think that's the worst part of it. I think like you have to say hi, and you have to learn how to say goodbye to that person.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And that is definitely one of the hard things. Like my initial friend group from when I first arrived in Korea,
Mm,
all of them are back home except maybe one or two.
yeah.
No, maybe two or three.
No.
But like, yeah, a lot of them are already back home, and it's crazy because you have to like you said, get
Yeah.
to know new people, start that whole relationship all over again, get a new support group, and
No. And then you're tired.
And
And to the
then-
point you're tired, like, oh my god, I have to say again to this person why I came to Korea. Why I have my friend. I have to tell my story of my mom. So when
Yeah.
I tell her other gossip about my mom, she
Yeah,
already
yeah.
know the background story. This is like it's a never ending story. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? Yeah. I think that's an up and down of Korea.
Yeah.
And what Korea can improve, I think it's improving slowly, but
Mhm.
like foreigner culture, like they like more foreigners. But I think they should know more about, like, I don't want to say mental health because it's like so
Mhm.
much, like many things included in mental health. But I think they should worry about like emotions.
I think though with the whole mental health, there's a really bad stigma of getting help sometimes.
Yeah,
At least that I've seen from the outside. Sometimes like that, admitting something's wrong,
yeah,
it's like, oh no,
yeah. Deal with it.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that's from. It's not saying it's bad. I'm not saying Korea is the only place that does it. It happens in America. It happens everywhere, other places. But here, I feel like I see it more.
yeah. I cannot say it like for sure because I don't want to say like, oh yeah, it's like that because
No.
I don't know everything. But for example, if we talk about like healthcare,
Yeah,
I think Korea have amazing healthcare.
yeah, it does.
Like amazing healthcare. But for example, my
It's-
how you say, like psychiatrist, no, the person, yeah, psychiatrist,
therapist.
yeah, therapist,
Yeah.
psychiatrist. My therapist from Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't have a therapist here. I never even tried to get a therapist here.
Mm.
So I don't even try. So I don't know if it's hard to find one who speaks English. I don't know if like I will feel connected with him like that. But for example, when I talk to my people in my company, I have like in my team we're 12 people. Okay,
Yeah.
none of them is a therapist. They don't have a therapist, and they never been in a therapist.
hmm
Only few of them when they have a really bad situation, like
Yeah.
how you say, when they mourning someone,
Like mourning,
yeah.
like grieving.
yeah, grieving somebody. But besides that, for them, it's not in their like thinking or in their brain, like, oh, I break up or I have a divorce or I have this, I
Like,
should
let me
go
go
and see a
talk some.
therapist.
Yeah.
So it's not. I
Not
don't
part
think
of the
it's in a
culture.
culture.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
No, so I
And
think-
that will take time. I think that's with anything. Like especially
No.
when something's new, it'll just take that time to then do it.
yeah. But I think it's not like it's not even like a topic. I don't think people talk about it.
Yeah, it's not a discussion. It's kind of hush
Yeah.
hush.
I never seen a clinic.
Yeah,
I don't even know the name how you say therapist in English in Korean.
in Korean, no.
Like because I never use it. Like,
Yeah.
I never even think about it.
Yeah.
So I think that's how you can say like how popular it is or not.
What going to a more happy of a topic here? What are some of your favorite places to visit in Korea since you've been here for like 9
my
years?
God.
So
Oh my
what are some
God.
like cities that you enjoyed or cities that you would recommend people to travel to?
Travel to?
Obviously Seoul we know about, but let's go
Yeah.
outside of Seoul.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
think about where would you guys or where should you go to travel? And if you get maybe if you come here, you might think about living here. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you might want to try something new and not just be in Seoul.
Yeah. I would recommend, for example, this is one of my favorite cities because of the history culture.
Yeah.
It's not about like, oh my god, it's so pretty, oh, it's so fashion, oh, it's like so much eat to eat. No. I don't know if you know like what happened in Korea in the, I think it's the 60s or 70s. I don't remember the date, but it was like May something, May 16, I think.
Mhm.
Don't believe me in the dates, but it's the Korean student movement.
Oh, I think you told me about this, but tell them.
So I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So it's this in that time they have a dictator in Korea.
Mhm.
So the student kind of make a rebellion and like against the government and started to like strike. So the city is Gwangju, and then they have a tax. They have a movie. That's name is Taxi, so you can search it. I think it's in Netflix. I think.
I try to search for it. It is on Netflix. However, it's only in Korean. There's no English
Yeah,
subtitles.
but I think if you do it in US,
Oh,
the
maybe.
VPN probably it's in English, but
Yeah.
like probably. But anyway, you can find it in internet.
Yeah.
And I think you do have it also.
Yeah.
But like, it's a really good movie. You will watch it, and then during the movie they show you like specific area, the plaza, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
So in Gwangju is really small city, like really small city.
It feels so big. When I went down there for their bus terminal,
Yeah.
I was like, "This is a huge bus terminal. That thing is
Yeah.
insane."
Because it's like a
busy.
transfer. It's a transfer.
It is going. Like I thought this was just on par with Seoul. Like how
Yeah.
busy it is. I was like, I thought this was a small city because I was going on my way to
Yeah.
Damyang.
Oh yeah.
Really south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went there, and then they have like the museums, they
Mhm.
have the plaza, and it's really nice. People is so nice. And then I remember when I went with my dad when my dad visited Korea, and we show up in the museum, and nobody was there. Nobody was there. And the girl who was in the desk, she don't speak many English. She was so happy to see us there. She's like, "Oh my God, you're foreigners and you know this history. Let me give you a tour." So she gave us a private tour.
Oh wow.
She turned up every light. He showed us there. They have like real like bullets about the movement, and I think it's really nice spot, and many people don't know about it like at all. It's really about Koreans, but I really recommend it. Like if you are outside Seoul and you don't want to see the palace and like the North Korea border, blah blah blah, I really recommend it because it's a really historic place. Like
Yeah.
it's really like amazing. You can see like the clothes and like what people wear like that day and like everything about the history, and they show you. They have English and Korean.
Yeah.
So I think that was like one of the best places. Like my dad loved it, so I think
Yeah.
it's really nice. So that was one of the places. Second one, I think Yosu.
I want to go there
In
so
Joseon?
bad. It's on my list.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like a beach.
potential maybe September vibe. I might go.
Oh, it's gonna be nice.
Might,
I think
yeah.
that Yosu is a great. It's like a beach. It's not that popular. It's getting popular, but it's nice.
Yeah.
That one, I think that was like the second one, and third one, I will say Koje. Koje
I
Island.
just yeah.
Koje
I haven't
Island.
gone on. I haven't gone there either.
Yeah.
But my friend has, and
Mm.
she loved it.
I think everything else, like, what's the name? Jeonju, Jeonju, like the
Jeonju,
yeah,
the one right outside of Seoul.
yeah.
But yeah, my friend lived over there.
Many of that cities is like already too much touristic. I think it's like overpriced, like many people. But I think everything else is good. I think
Yeah.
Daegu's a great spot. Come to Daegu
Yeah.
and
Quick
Daegu
plug.
and Daegu.
And
Daegu. Yeah. In Gangneung,
Oh yeah.
where it was Olympic, the Winter Olympic right now. I
And
think
it's
that's a really nice
For
spot.
the BTS Army people, that's also that famous
Yeah.
CD cover with the bus stop.
I
It's
went
also-
before BTS, so I recommend you because I love Gangneung, not because of BTS.
I'm just letting the army know, you know,
Yeah.
because they probably be like, "Wait, what?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I know," because my friend's an army, and she was like, "Hallie,
Yeah,
this
the bus
has-"
stop.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"Cool, it's a bus stop."
Yeah,
yeah.
but like only
But
those
it's
are
also a
pretty.
nice beach town if you go over there.
Yeah.
And it,
In
I
the
heard-
winter is pretty also. So.
Yeah, I heard nice, a lot of nice cafes and a lot of nice museums and stuff are over there. So those were some travel places. So we have Gwangju,
Gwangju, Yosu,
Yosu, Gangneung.
Gangneung, and Koje.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one island. It's amazing. I don't think many people know. The name is Jebu-do.
Jebu-do.
Jebu-do is near Seoul, like technically near
I know
Seoul.
what you're talking about because I saw it recently. Like,
Yeah.
this is a place no one knows. You should visit. But I kind of like scrolled.
And the island is really small. Like the island is like you can walk around the island in 30 minutes. Like you can walking like, and it think minutes too much, like 20 minutes
Yeah.
maybe. But the good thing about that is like you go in the morning, you
Mhm.
cross, and then when you cross certain time, by car, you get in the island by car.
Okay.
Okay, but certain time the water close,
Okay.
so it's no more. You can see how the water get like cover the road, and
Mhm.
it's just an island far away. So you should come back at a certain time. And the island is really small because not many people live there, and they have some like restaurant and coffee shop.
Yeah.
They're really cute. But the good part is coming back, and then they have a restaurant near there,
Yeah.
You see in the restaurant, and you see how the water is covered, the sunset is coming,
Mhm.
and how the water is covering the street. So you cannot go anymore. Like you cannot cross. If you stay in the other side, then you cannot cross until the next day. And then it's really, I don't know, it was a really good experience. Like, oh my god, there was the road, and then there's nothing there. Like it's just water. And it was
Okay.
really nice. And you see the sunset because that's the side of the sunset.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. I think that was like really small island. Not many people know about it, but it's really nice.
Yeah.
Jebudo. I recommend it.
No, that's nice. I would. There's so many places I want to go to.
No.
Just haven't had time. Because some of the places like I want to go to, but they're so far out that it's
No.
like I need a long weekend to make it worth traveling all the way
Probably.
down there.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, those are some of the places that I would recommend to visit.
Yes.
So make sure you get your tickets, and when you come here, don't just only stick to Seoul. I think you really
Yeah.
need to. Yes, go to Seoul. It's enjoyable. It's
Yeah, don't
fun.
stay Seoul and Busan.
Yeah, it's always Seoul and Busan, but
No.
try to do Seoul and then try to go outside of that. Try to go further south or try to go west or east, just somewhere different.
No.
Just so you can get two kind of different sides. Because a lot of people will tell you Seoul is like a big city vibe, so that's what you're getting when you're going to Seoul.
No.
So kind of to take yourself out of that element and get more of the like Korean culture, you need to kind of step outside of Seoul.
Yeah, and I think like the full experience.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
for the full experience of it.
Yeah. No. Yeah, and people don't realize like it's expensive. Like
Yeah.
Seoul and Busan are expensive.
Yeah,
They're
it is.
overrated because they're like touristing place.
Mhm.
But if you go outside small cities, you will find like really cheap food, the same quality or even better,
Mhm.
and then it's just like cheaper.
Yeah.
Like for example, if you go Busan, Pohang is next to it, and
Yeah.
Pohang is cheaper.
Yep.
And it's the same.
Or if you go to Changwon,
Yeah, Taiwan.
Changwon is cheaper than
Yeah.
Busan. Yeah. So it just depends. What have you noticed the difference between during COVID times of
Mhm.
being in Korea and
No.
before COVID, during COVID, and now after COVID?
Before COVID,
Because you were here before COVID even was a thing.
Yeah.
You were here during it,
Yeah. When it break down. Yeah.
and then you're still here in 2024.
Yeah.
So how do you feel the country throughout those times? Like, what was it like?
Before COVID, it was really weird because like Korea was really open. Like we still use mask because mask is been a thing in Korea.
Yeah.
Like people don't understand that like for us using mask, it was not something weird.
Different, yeah.
It's never been an issue, and because we, the yellow dust, like the Chinese, like they call it Chinese, but it's not come from China. But like the yellow dust, we usually do that because like pollution.
Yeah.
So it was really fun. Like we go out. I never think about using the mask because somebody's sick. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
was more about pollution. It was like, oh my god, if I see somebody with a mask, I was like, oh my god, it's a pollution. But it was really open, like, and we never think about somebody sick. Like we never like realize, oh, this person's sick. Let me move the seat. You know?
Yeah.
And then I remembered the day. I remembered exactly the breakout. Like,
Really?
They like when they explode,
Yeah.
like that big issue. Like starting Daegu because a girl from the church, she came to Daegu, and then I remember the morning I went to work and my coworker said, "Hey, Dal, do you have food in your house?" It was a Friday, and I was like, "Yeah, I have food." Like I was like, "But what kind of random question, you know? Like,
Yeah.
do you have food?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have food." And then later, like a few hours later, other coworker came and said, "Hey, Dal, do you have enough food in your house for the weekend?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have some, but like, like anyway, I can order." But like, I don't know why. I was like, in my mind was like,
Why are they asking me
yeah,
about
like,
food?
do you have random food? I was like, yeah. And then I remember before leaving my work, my bus, she came and she's like, Dal, do you have food in your home? Like for the weekend, in
Yeah.
case we cannot go out anymore. And I
Okay,
was
so
like-
she was telling you like
Yeah.
to prepare for that.
Yeah, like maybe we're gonna like the country's gonna close. You're gonna go out. Like the supermarket is gonna wake up.
Mhm.
And then in that moment, I remember we already like probably 10 days in COVID. But
Yeah.
people don't know. I don't know if you know, but in that time we have an app. The
Yeah,
government
I have
developed,
that app. Yeah.
and then it show you. No, not about the quarantine app. No, I'm talking about the
No, Koof?
no.
Not Koof?
It was like this is an app told you
pirate Coop.
where people was sick,
Oh, I
where
heard
he
about that.
visit. So it was that app was amazing. Everybody downloaded in that moment, and then for example, tell you, oh, we have, because we can count the cases in that time. It was like 1 case, 2 case, 3 case, like this,
Yeah.
and it was like 2 cases, and then they told you where the person at, like
Yeah.
the
Went
last
to.
day, where they went, where they like what time, where they meet, like all of that, so you can see like, oh, she went a coffee shop, or she went like this restaurant, or she went a supermarket, so you can track that for like long, until we were like, until like the 30 people, like when they were like 30 people,
Mhm.
they can match that. And then I remember it was like Monday, then Tuesday 20 people, and then Thursday like 45 people, and then Thursday 100, and I remember Friday 300, and then
Um,
like that's when they explode, like when they was like 300, like we cannot track one person anymore,
yeah.
like we cannot know where was that every person.
Mm.
And then I remember I near my house, you know, the supermarkets,
Yeah. Yeah.
but no Home Plus, like the small ones,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this, like medium size,
Yeah.
right? Ever in my life I see people, many people there, like never, like
Yeah.
I've seen like few
You see
people, and then
occasionally like one or two
yeah,
or five,
like
but
5 people,
that.
yeah. And I remember I get in, and you know the ramen area, like the
Yeah.
ramen area, like when it's all the ramen. Though I never see an empty shell actually
A
in Korea,
ramen?
right?
Yeah.
And it was empty. The shell was empty,
Oh.
and I was like, okay. In that
Something,
moment,
yeah.
I was like, this is gonna like fucked up. Like something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And then I remember the only ramen left. It was like the jjajangmyeon, like the black
They're
ramen.
really
And nobody liked that. Like, nobody liked that ramen.
like
So I
try
was
your
like,
life.
so I was like, okay. So I grabbed it for like 3 that don't like that ramen. And then look, people, like compared to US,
Yeah.
nobody was running, nobody was pushing, nobody was like stealing stuff.
Yeah.
The supermarket was full,
Yeah.
but people, you can feel it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can feel a change in the energy.
It was like I was so scared. Like, you know how scared I was,
Yeah.
because I can feel it. Like you can feel the stress in people. They were like, you can see in the cars, like in US, you know, they use toilet paper, right?
Yeah.
Here was like rice, like sack of rice, like on top on each other,
Yeah.
like 40 kilos of rice. People were
Oh.
taking with them, like 50 kilos of rice. So I remember I get the ramen, I get like some frozen stuff. I couldn't get money stuff because my fridge is more like our fridge
Yeah.
are more. So I was like, okay, I can survive with ramen and tuna and like whatever is coming. I went to my house. We didn't go out. Like government said, like no more coffee shop, no more stores. Everything
Yeah.
is from out, take out. And then next day was 500. We went for 300 to 500. And by Sunday night, when we were supposed to go back work on Monday, it was 1,000 cases.
Oh wow.
So I remember we start panicking. We never closed. Korea was never closed. You
Yeah.
always get more work, like that thing. But then now, people still using the mask. I think like if you see it, like
Yeah.
many people keep the mask.
Yeah, people use the mask, but I feel like it's definitely not as like many. It's like here and there. Like when I'm at school,
Yeah,
I'm seeing my kids' faces for the first time, right?
yeah.
I don't recognize these children sometimes. I'm like, who are you? And then they go and put their mask on. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like,
No, the people you can see like, oh, they
I'm
seem
like-
so handsome. You remove the mask, it's like, never mind.
you got
Like,
mask date.
Yeah, like never mind. Like put the mask. Let's talk when you with the mask on. Yeah. So I think that's different. Like
Yeah.
like now people's like more conscious about it. I enjoy more being out.
Mm.
I was like, I don't have to wear a mask. Like I can hear now the noises, like all the things that you need and appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like you can be outside without have to register. Like tell where are you? Like
Oh, yeah, when we had to scan the QR to
the
be
QR
like
code.
sign up.
Yeah.
That was such a struggle for me because when I came,
No.
we just came into Korea when it was towards the tail end, but there were still quarantine requirements. There was still
Okay,
like
yeah.
you need to scan the QR to tell them that you're here, how
Yeah.
many's in your party, yada yada. And we couldn't be out past like 9 o'clock or something like that. Like there was that curfew, and or you could be out, but then you couldn't be with a certain amount of people. That was the
Yeah,
whole thing.
that's at the party.
Yeah, like, and of course, as foreigners, it's like if there's more than 4 of you, they just assume you all know each other.
Yeah.
One time-
yeah.
One time, one of my friends, we got like added an extra 2 people that weren't even in our party, but like we don't know them.
No,
And they're like,
before,
oh,
we don't-
sorry.
No.
But no, it was definitely one of those things where it was frustrating because at some points, when we were trying to get our shots as foreigners,
Yeah.
they were like COVID shots. At first, they were like, do they recognize the shots you got from abroad? And that was a whole discussion because a lot of people who were
okay.
from the U.S., from Canada, and from wherever
You
else
get
in
one
the world,
shot.
they already had the one shot prior to coming, at least with my
Johnson
intake
and Johnson, right?
from either
Whatever.
Johnson and
Yeah.
Johnson or Pfizer or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it was like one of those things of like, are they accepting it that we're, because there were certain things you couldn't go out if you weren't quarantined, if you weren't. You remember the requirement of like if you have the 2 shots, then you can bring one extra person with you to like add to your party or whatever. So there was like that whole thing when you were out and about. But then when we got there and they're like, oh, you need a second shot to travel, and we're like, oh, okay, so does our first shot count, or do we need to get 2 shots in Korea? And then like having our SIM card when we first arrived was like a annoying thing too.
Oh yeah.
Because it was just like, oh yeah, you need your phone number for this. You need your phone number in Korea you need your phone number for everything in Korea.
And then check, because how they write your name in the contract of the phone, that's your name.
Like
that's your name. If they
forever.
write it, if they write like with a wrong letter, if they write like I don't know, like if the order they made it,
they saw a dash on my ID card,
yeah,
and they had to copy the dash because my name is so long. And I was like, my friend even warned me, whatever you do, ask them not to have that dash in your ID card, because that dash will mess you up permanently. Because every time you're like debating if the dash is involved in the signing up or whatever, you know. And of course, the phone company, they copied, and I even said, please no dash. Like I put it in Korean and everything, and they're like, okay. And then I see the paperwork, and I'm like, all right, well, at least it matches. So now I know.
Yeah, you know how it is. My name is dash in dash. My name in my contract is write with capital letters.
Yeah.
So every time I have to write my name for like an app or something, like they ask for your number.
Oh yeah, mine's all capitalized too.
Mine's all capitals. If I don't write capital letters, it doesn't. It's always wrong.
Ah, okay.
So it's really like you have to write it the same way they write your company phone, and it's weird, like your company phone.
And your name, it goes in a different order than what you're used to. If you're from,
your family's name and then your name.
Yeah, so that messes with me sometimes too, because I'm like,
and you have one family name, right? I have 2 family names.
Oh,
so mine is like 2 family name and then my name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I only have 1 family name.
So it's like different.
All right, so let's go on to our next question here.
Okay.
What do you do for fun in Korea?
What I do for fun? Recently, like this past few years, I enjoy DSL, like is a Daegu Softball League for adults. And it was mixed like Koreans, foreigners, military teachers, everybody, Spanish people. So I think that was like one of my hobbies. I do it here, and other thing I do in Korea is join like small courses. So I'm going to do cooking.
Oh, you're doing cooking class?
Yeah, I'm gonna like baking class, and it's cheap. Like I think like that was part of Korea, and I used to be in a Spanish Korean club.
Okay.
Yeah, we meet on weekends or like during the week, 1 time or 1 hour. You meet people, and I was like learning Korean, and then I teach them Spanish. What else I've been doing before? Oh, I was in a dancing class.
Dancing class. Okay. Yeah. What kind of dancing?
Swing.
Oh.
So you meet people there. So it's many options like to do, actually, like to have fun, meet people, like hang out, and it's not expensive. Some of them are free if you find them. So I try to do at least one time in that, like have something to do at least.
Yeah.
Not you don't try to do everything, but like at least 1 or 2 things.
To keep you busy.
Yeah, to keep you busy. So softball, like meeting friends, like having a hobby, learn new stuff. If you find it, somebody you find an academy to like learn instrument, like cooking or like new language.
We're gonna go to a dance class. We just now got to figure out what song we're gonna learn because
K-pop.
It's gonna be a K-pop song of some kind. Yeah. I'm partial to Blackpink, but you already did a Blackpink song. So we might switch it up. Maybe do a Stray Kids or something. Or
that's fun.
Yeah. Might go do the boys. La 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 la.
Bring it out. Bring it.
Okay. So we spoke earlier about how you came to Korea a long time ago. You first came as a student, and then now you work. You're an adult, and now you're working. You're in the real world now.
Yeah.
How did you get to your school? Like, what was that process? And then what was the process going into being an office worker?
Okay. I think it's still the same process, but I'm not sure. You need to check it out. But like after you study in Korea, university or master degree, I study master degree. They give you the chance to get a D10 visa.
Okay.
It's a student visa. After you get a student visa, you get D10, and D10 mean you are in the searching of a job.
Ah, okay. So
So
you're on your route to getting a job.
yes,
And
and
it's a little bit longer than like a tourist visa, for
yes.
example. Or thing. Okay.
Actually, it's not that longer, but 6 months.
Oh, but tourist is only 90.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
And
90 days, I mean.
Yeah, 90 days. Yeah, true. So it's 6 months visa, and then during that 6 months, you're allowed to search for a job. You're not
Okay.
allowed to work,
You're allowed to
but
search.
you're allowed to live here and search for a job.
Okay.
Sometimes you can ask for special permission, maybe work like internship or something like that, but they're
Mhm.
not allowed to pay you.
Okay.
But you can do that in
Okay.
the 6 months as well. So after I graduate, I get that visa. But before graduate, like 1 or 2 months before graduating,
hmm
I put my resume in a platform, like a Korean platform,
Yeah.
and the name is Saram In.
Okay.
Saram In person. So in like it's like LinkedIn,
Yeah.
LinkedIn. So I put my resume there. It's in Korean. The thing is in Korean.
hmm
But I in that time I asked my coworker, my teammate, like my classmate, my Korean classmate, and she helped me like, oh, this is like, so we fill up together.
hmm
Everything was in English. Like I feel like they ask you for them in English, your name, and I write it in English. And they ask you like, what do you do? And I write it in English. Everything I write it in English, but it was like Korean website.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you put there a cover letter. Sorry, a cover letter and your resume, like in a
Okay,
PDF
yeah.
file. And I put it there. I remember I forgot about it.
You're like, and submit.
Yeah, I submitted it, and I forgot about it because everything they offer is in Korean.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to work in Korean environment, like 100% in Korean environment. I don't want to work. I don't feel capable, I think.
Yeah.
And then they also have a fair in October in Korea. So I graduated in August,
hmm
and then in October they have a fair that you can go and find a job.
Yeah.
It's a foreigners fair job.
For, oh,
Job.
okay, okay, okay.
It's in Seoul. Usually 2 days, so you have signed in advance. You apply for the jobs, and then you go to the interviews.
Oh,
At the fair.
at that fair, their interviews are happening
Yeah,
too.
it's in
Okay.
Coexmo.
Okay.
And then it's been like many years. I don't know if during COVID they do it, but last year they did. This year they did as well. So I went there. I applied for a few jobs,
Mhm.
and then I get some interviews, and I get a job from Bosco, but Bosco, Korea, but working in Mexico.
Okay.
And then I found a small job, but I was like kind of internship during the 6 months.
Yeah.
And after that, my current job find me on LinkedIn and
Oh.
sign in, and they just contact me and then
Like,
offer me
hey,
a job.
yeah.
They send me the offer, and it was the best offer like that I have in that moment.
Yeah.
So I took it.
You took that offer. Okay.
But I thought it was like we have many options. Like sometimes like they come to the school before we graduate, recruiting people.
Okay.
It was a fair, I thought it was a job fair, and many people in there. Remember for that one, many people from Korea, from other countries, from like Cambodia, Thailand,
Mhm.
like Southeast Asia countries, they came to the fair. They were not living in Korea.
Oh,
So
okay.
they came from the countries. They sign up. They
Mhm.
sign up to the fair, and then they came.
Okay.
Apply for the job. With the
Oh.
interviews.
Okay.
So I
That's
think
cool.
a good option. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a different option than what I had. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
That it's basically a LinkedIn. You submitted your application, and
Yeah.
then you get contacted. Hey, we're interested. This is what we're offering, and then you
Yeah.
kind of go through it, yes or no, and then you go from there. Does your work provide you a visa?
Yeah, after they hire me, they provide me a visa.
And then how are your vacation? Like, like, do you have? Because for mine, we get like 26 days, and
Yeah.
we have to use those 26 days. If we don't use it, we lose it, kind of situation.
Okay.
So how does your vacation work?
I think every company is different.
Yes,
I
yeah.
don't want to say, oh, everywhere in Korea is the same.
No,
Like,
not at all.
really, every company is different, and my company is kind of really good. I want to say it, but I think it's really like same for everyone. I think it's like by law. It's like a by law issue. So when you enter the company, you get I think 11 or 12 days,
Okay.
like starting. Like as soon as you enter the company, that's how much you get. You get 11 days, and then each year you get 1 extra day. So it's
Oh,
like,
okay.
The next year you get
Get
12
12, the
days,
next
and then
year,
there's
13.
and then
Okay.
14, like this 14, 15, blah blah blah. And because I'm a foreigner, they let me put together 2 weeks off, so I can go out for 2 weeks, like traveling.
Okay.
But usually my coworkers, I'm talking about my coworkers in my company, they
Yeah.
usually take 1 or 2 days off. Usually like the long weekend. So
Oh,
they
okay.
got like 5 day, like
5 day or
4 or 5 days
4 day
long
weekend.
weekend.
Yeah.
Or like randomly in the month you want to take 1 day off, and they take 1 day off.
Mm.
It's really weird somebody take like more than like long weekend.
Okay.
So like, so it's like that. So you can take it anytime you want. I can request it anytime I want.
Mhm.
And then if I don't use it by the next day, next year, and it's not about yearly. It's not like January to December. No, my yearly contract. It's about your contract, like your
Mhm.
contract period. So in my contract they finish and I didn't use it,
Mhm.
then the next month after I finish, oh sorry, the next year finish, then they pay me the money. It died.
It died on us,
It
guys.
died.
I don't know if you heard her whole story.
I'm
'Cause-
sorry, but yeah, that's what it is. It you get the money, then if you don't use your holiday, then you get paid. Like you get paid. Like they give you the money of your holidays.
oh, okay.
So it's really nice that part. Yeah.
And then last question, since our microphone is dying. What's been a funny moment that's happened to you in Korea, or something that like humbled you real quick because you were like, ooh, but in a funny way.
Yeah, funny way. I told you like people think it sometimes like I speak really well Korean. Uh, I didn't know. It's really hard. So one time it's just really funny. Like my friend sent me a package to my house, and then Korea have amazing service because
it's amazing.
yeah, they your package arrived next day. So I get a text from the delivery service, and they say, "Hey, your package in your home," and I was like, "Oh, great!" So I arrived at my house, and it was nothing there. And you know, Korea don't die. Like if they say your package is there, your package is there.
Yeah.
And I know nobody stole it. I'm sure it was like nobody
Yeah,
stole it. So I was like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Oh, maybe the guy didn't deliver, but the app let you know it's delivered, so he will bring it tomorrow." You know what I'm saying? So then I tried to call him, the guy, because they'll tell you everything. So I found the guy number and the phone number. So I call him and he didn't answer. It was like
Yeah.
7 or 8 p.m. And then I hang up, and like 2 minutes later I get a call, and I was like, "Oh, hi!" And I know it was I thought it was the delivery man, like the
Yeah.
mailman. And then he say, "Hey," like in that time I don't understand what he's saying in Korean. I understand like few parts, like I have your package, I open it, I'm gonna give it to you, but let's meet in the hotel in front of my house. Near is a hotel there. And I was like so angry. I was like, "Oh my god!" Because I was saying in Korean, I was like, "Oh, because you think I'm a foreigner, you want me in a hotel?" Like, no, you gotta bring my package to my house. Like, what are you talking about? So I was like really angry because as a foreigner, like this guy's gonna like take advantage of us. You know what I'm saying? So the guy was like, "No, I give you in the hotel outside. Like, let's meet now." And I was like, "It's like 8 p.m." I was like, "I'm not gonna go at night." And I was like, "What is wrong with this guy?" I was like, "I'm gonna call like your supervisor." I was like, I was so angry, and I hang up. And then and then I was like, "Oh my god!" I was really angry. I was like furious. And then I was like, I checked I was gonna give the phone number to my coworker so
Yeah.
she can call the supervisor and say what happened. And I realized it was the same number, like the number I called and the number who called me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, So I tried to think about the phone call again. I was like, trying to like recall the message, like what he was saying. And then it was not the mailman, the one who I yelled at. It was my neighbor, like the neighbor building, not my building, like the neighbor building. And he was saying, "Hey, they mixed up our package. I got your package, but I don't know where's your building because the address is wrong. So I
Yeah.
cannot search and give it to you. But in front of our buildings, we have a hotel. What about we meet there? Because it's the only thing we have near. We don't have a CU or like a
Yeah.
convenience store." So for him was like, "Hey, we can meet outside the hotel because like the only thing we can have here, because you don't have to give me your address and I don't have to give you my address.
Yeah.
So we can meet there and I give you your package." So actually, it was a really nice neighbor.
Yeah.
I want to give my package, which when I screamed to him,
Trying to be a good Samaritan.
yeah, and I say bad words and stuff like that because I was angry. I'm sorry, I was angry, and then so I text him back. It's like, "Oh yes, I can pick up my package in 1 hour outside the hotel."
I hope you sent that man a cacao gift.
No, and then I just walked to the hotel, and I was wearing a mask and like a hat.
Hide the shame.
Yeah, and I just arrived it, and then he just like, "Oh, here's your package." It was a really cute guy. I was like, "Oh my god!" It was like really cute, tall Korean guy. And then he just gave it to me. I was like, "Oh, thank you," and I just like laughed, and I was so embarrassed. It was like the
Did you
worst.
say sorry?
Yeah, no, I didn't say sorry because I was like, maybe he didn't understand my Korean, so I don't want to say sorry. No. But I say thank you. I was really,
Yeah.
really grateful. He gave me my package back, but it was really embarrassed. Like that's like my humble time was like, I don't speak Korean. I don't know Korean, and
As
like,
much as you thought to be able to handle that situation.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was like my worst situation in Korea.
Wow.
Sorry. If you see it, sorry. Sorry, I'm sorry.
We're sorry. We love you.
Love you.
Good Samaritan. Oh, he was cute.
That's cute.
Call her. No, I'm joking.
Again, please.
Again, yeah. Since you lived here for so long,
Yeah.
is there anything that you can say was the hardest to adjust to living here for a long time before we go?
I think the hardest part was how you can say like give up of what you believe. Like not believe, like what do you think is right and wrong?
Okay.
Okay? And be open to think something else can be
This is right.
yes, always right. Because in our cultures, like maybe in like Mexico and like as same as US, for example, tips. Let's just say tips.
Mm.
You are used to like tips are okay.
Yeah.
You have to do it. It's like
Yeah.
mandatory.
Yeah.
But then you come here and they're not doing it here.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I think that like it's like okay, we do it in Mexico and it's right. Doing it in Mexico is right. It's correct. There's nothing wrong about it. But maybe doing it here is wrong. I think that's important. Like be open that maybe in your country is wrong and or you're gonna do is correct, but maybe here is wrong, or he's okay.
Yeah.
So I think that was like my toughest part, like thinking about it because and I'm talking about superficial stuff, like maybe like clothes, like oh, in US we can dress with
Like this,
cleavage,
yeah.
and here you cannot, or stuff like that.
Just some like
Yeah,
more deeper things.
yeah, I think so. Like maybe not being noisy or like not being too open. For example, like my coworkers, like we work together, and sometimes they want to know some personal things
About
that
you,
usually you don't
you don't
like
tell
share with a
coworkers.
coworkers
Yeah,
thing, but here it's normal.
Yeah.
Or like Korea normalize telling you, "Hey, you don't look pretty today," and I'm like, "Are you?"
I know when I don't look good because literally the teachers would be like, "Ali, you look tired today." I'm like, "Just
Yeah.
tell me I look bad."
Yeah. And when we don't normalize that in US, like you don't tell people they don't look cute, or I can tell you, "Hey, you get weight or you lose weight," when usually we don't normalize people tell you that straightforward, or not your friend, like stranger.
Yeah.
So maybe in our culture is wrong, and we cannot say it's good, but you have to adapt. So I think that's the biggest part. Like I learned that. Like you should learn. Like you're learning new stuff. Like maybe in our country is right, maybe he is wrong, maybe he is wrong, but there's right. So I think that's like the hardest part. I think.
So. All right. Thank you guys for sticking with us. I hope you enjoyed our story times, our conversations about our experiences living in Korea. Especially thought it'd be a cool experience listening to you since you've been here probably the longest out of anyone I know. I mean, there might be 2 or 3 other people
Yeah.
that have been here
Yeah.
10 or plus, but yeah, it's really cool.
Experience different.
Everyone's
People-
experience is
yeah.
different, especially where they come from. So I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was kind of on the spot. We were hanging out all day today, but please don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and listen to the podcast. You can find us on all social media platforms at here, HEAR_our 2 cents. Okay, so HEAR_our 2 cents. You can be on Twitter. We're on TikTok. Thank you, everybody, for making that video blow up, by the way. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook, surprisingly. We are on YouTube, okay?
Everywhere.
And then if you want to listen to the podcast, you can find us anywhere you stream your favorite podcast. So we are on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Overcast, Pandora, okay? So please give us a listen and look out for more content. So thank you guys. Bye.